All right, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahushai, Brakati Yahweh, Brakati Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, True Well. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there, Yoakim to Zadakim, that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. On the pre-Shaman, and this week's topic is going to be entitled Familiarity Breeds Contempt. Familiarity breeds contempt. I remember the Apostle Elder Gabar did a lesson many years ago speaking about this situation and warning us about it. And I'm doing this lesson to also warn you younger brothers and upcoming brothers all throughout the camps to be mindful of that, right? You want to, first of all, let me just read the dictionary, what they have for familiarity. It says, extensive knowledge of or close association with someone or something leads to a loss of respect for them or it. Basically, if you chill with somebody too much and y'all get buddy, guess what? That respect factor is going to be gone because they're going to start to see you as their equal. So with that said, I know brothers would like to be brotherly. Brothers are brotherly, but at the same time, certain brothers have to keep a distance. You have to keep your distance. You have to keep that respect factor there because guess what? That's how our apostles raised us. And what we got in, and this is how we teaching brothers that are coming in now, all right, that you don't really want to, associate yourself overly, all right, with brothers in high ranks in you, all right. It's going to only pose detrimental for the higher ranking brother and yourself because at some point, and this is, you put a magnifying lens on every brother, you're going to find some particular faults, right? But your job as an up-and-coming brother is you don't want to have your faults on full display, and those faults become more apparent when you start to get more comfortable with those in higher rank than you. So I'm just trying to warn brothers about avoiding these types of things. You know what I'm saying? So that whole hitting up a brother every day that's above you in rank, that's not really the route you want to go. Because even the Apostle Tahar tells us that. He's like, look, how he deals with the apostles, right? It's not super long-winded conversations every day. I got the contacts of bishops and elders. I'm not gonna blast them up every, hey, how's your day going? This is my week. No, you don't do that shit because you have to keep that level of respect there. You know what I'm saying? So let me jump into some scriptures. I'll start with Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, verse 4. It says, seek not of the Lord preeminence, neither of the king the seat of honor, right? So you don't want to just try to jump in this thing just to be Mr. Popular, because that could kind of fuck with your head. That could big your head up. You don't want to be Mr. Popular and shit, and you start to think of yourself when really you always want to stay humble. You know what I'm saying? You always want to keep it humble. It says, justify not thyself before the Lord, and boast not of thy wisdom before the king. That's just taking a low route. You never want to be the guy that's just like I want to outshine those guys above me. You know what I mean? You don't really want to go that route. It's just you're gonna fuck yourself doing that shit. It says, seek not to be judged, being not able to tell. Oh, no, that was it. That was a point. Actually, no. It says, seek not to be judged, being not able to take away iniquity, lest at any time thou fear the person of the mighty and a stumbling block in the way of thy uprightness. So yeah. You don't want to seek preeminence. You don't want to get too boasted up, too lifted up. Look at how much I've learned, and then you start to compare. And we've seen examples of this, right? Guys that come in, got a bit popular, got a little nice position, and they start to think of themselves more than what they are, to the point where, look, I know more than the apostles now. And you know what? Now the Lord is dealing with younger guys now. Next thing you know, you don't fucking see those guys anymore. So you always just want to come from a place of humility, come from a place of sincerity. And if promotion comes from the Lord, then it comes. But that shouldn't be your main focus, man. You know what I'm saying? Sirach chapter 13, verse 9. It says, "If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more will he invite thee." Right. So, if thou be invited by a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more will he invite thee. It says, "Press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand not far off, lest thou be forgotten." That right there is telling you keep your fucking distance. You don't want to be too close, because that's gonna bring the lesson back full circle. Be too familiar. You don't want to be too distant, to where like, who the fuck is this guy? I never seen this guy. You know what I'm saying? It's about keeping a good distance, that good distance of balance of respect. Like, hey, the conversations is kept to a certain point, then I'm out. But at the same time, I'm not just gonna walk past a higher ranking brother like, yo, I don't know you and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or walk past a bishop like I don't even know you like that. Nah, you pay your honors, you pay your respect. 1, 2 words, you out of there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just get like that. That if you get too close, man, all that shit is gonna do is just breed contempt, man. You know, because you're gonna forget your place, and you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna put yourself in a hole, and you might not even see it. That's what's so wild about it. You might not even see it because you just like that familiarity demon is on you and shit. So you just like to the point you cracking jokes or saying shit that you might say to like another guy, and not mind you having those jokes now and shit with elder brothers, or you might slip a tongue with a bishop or a high ranking bro, what have you, and now you're in the spotlight. Why? Because you got too fucking close. You got too familiar. You see? Proverbs 25:6 says, "Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better is it that it be said unto thee, Come up hither, than thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince whom thine eyes have seen." Right. So imagine that, right? Imagine you go into a banquet, a feast, a get together, all right, and you just want the seat closest to the highest position, and then guess what? Somebody comes in of a higher rank than you, though. You got to move, and now you getting put back. It's better like, yo, we got a spot, bro. Come here. You sit right here. You know what I'm saying? You want to come in there. You want to when you pull up to the camp, when you pull up to any event, you want to take the lower seat. And if a higher ranking brother say, "Hey, come here," so you sit there, you go with that. Don't come and shit dictating anything and try to. All that shit is gonna do is just have people look at you like, yo, this cat just. And then I'm gonna bring out this guy again, Element, man. It's so crazy, man, because probably a lot of brothers don't even know what I'm talking about, because you know that's a while ago. But at one point, this guy was one of the top guys. Comes to the Passover, just sitting at the chief's seat. Like, who the fuck told you to sit there? I'm talking about being in this thing 7 years. You pop in a seat above men that's been in this thing way longer than you. See, so the Lord don't like shit like that, man. All right, and you know you don't want to fall into that lot, bro. Okay, like trying to be presumptuous, try to think you know this, think you know that, and compare. Like, nah, when you come in, bro, just stay humble, because you know you don't want to think you know more than you actually do. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 17, it says, "Honor all men, love the brotherhood, fear the Most High, honor the king." This right here seems like order. It says, and I'm gonna say this, man. Look, ranking is order. We're not using that to flex. We're not using that to belittle nobody. But the Most High set these things up for a reason. It's for order. You know, everything is about. Scripture say, "Do things in decency and in order," and that is a thing about it too. You know, that is a thing. That is a thing. All right. Same way in the world. I don't know. When I was in the 7th grade, I was just hanging around kids that were about to graduate. Right. You have to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing, man. I'm talking about in the spirit. All right. So brothers should learn how to keep that distance. It says, 18, "Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the forward." Right? You can't be playing that favoritism shit too. I'm gonna go to this elder brother because he more cool, he more that brother more stern. Nah, man, you gotta show that reverence got to be across the board. Okay, that reverence have to be across the board. And guess what? If you get too familiar with another individual, that fear is gonna be gone. You're not gonna give that person that reverence, and you're gonna start saying shit that you have no business saying. Okay, so this is how come we can't be too buddy buddy with the apostles, because that's just not respectful. The Apostle Tahal, man, can we kick it? The Apostle Tahal, let's kick it at it. You don't say no shit like that. You look like a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, okay, there's a particular level of respect I have to have towards this man. But the same thing should be going for the bishops, the elder brothers, brothers above. You should have that same sort of order in your mind. You know? All right, so with that, I mean, I'm going to wrap it up. That was just a quick lesson. I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Ruach HaKodash. That belongs to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone True Well. Citations to the hopeful elect out there. You Akim to Zadakim that do this thing in the utmost truth and sincerity. Shalom.